Hi everyone, it is your realtor Tia Deutschmann here with her very first video, and I am super excited to be here. And today we are going to be talking about 6 things you should know before becoming a real estate agent. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Number 1. Real estate is a lifestyle, it's not a job. So I went into real estate thinking, it's a job, whatever. You get your free time, you don't. It never ends. Honestly, it's been a blessing and a curse at the same time because you want to go to the cottage for just one day with your friends and then you all of a sudden have to submit a bully offer and you're crying trying to get signal. Yeah, that's never happened to me before. So you're kind of stuck. You're stuck in the city. You cannot do anything in that sense, but you do kind of manage your own time, which is cool. But essentially, you dictate your whole life to it. You live and you breathe real estate. I don't know how people do this part time. If you know how to do this part time, leave it down in the comments below because there's no way. Number 2, it's so expensive. Being an agent is not cheap. It's not your average job where you just kind of show up and you make money. It's not like that. So I went into it thinking that it's easy money because I know agents that have been doing it for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and they drive nice cars, they own their properties, they have investment properties, they do really well for themselves. But the thing is, schooling, at least in Ontario, we do the Humber school now instead of OREA, and it cost me around $5,000, 5 to 6 grand anyways, for all the material, pass it, mini cram, all of those things, right? Plus the courses, obviously. So it's very expensive. Then you have to get your insurance, get licensed with RICO, your desk fees, staging, taxes are like 30%. What else? Your car is basically screwed because the amount you travel, you are depreciating your car so badly, so bad. And besides that, also advertising. You are constantly marketing, whether you are doing billboards or flyers, anything like that. Door knocking, your time is so valuable and you're not being paid for it unless you get a deal done on closing, right? And even then you're waiting for that commission check. So you really have to manage your money very well, and you can't start real estate with $0. No matter what video you watch online that says that to you, it's not true. You need money to be a real estate agent. Number 3, you decide your own success. So the sky is your limit. There is no 9 to 5 where you get $50,000 paid a year and you're really hoping for that $1 raise in the next 5 years. No, you make your own money and you dictate your own success because you get what you give, right? It doesn't always happen like that in that timeline, but it really does because you can get super busy and you make all this money and you're on top of the world, and then you don't get a deal done for a couple weeks, for some people even a couple of months. So this goes back to number 2. You need to manage your finances really well and don't go on a crazy bender when you win, because it is not going to end good for you. But the sky's your limit. So you can work your way up and eventually have your own team or own your own brokerage and just network and just find this drive to do anything. You can be anything you want. So that is actually why I went into it personally. That is my number 1, because you make your own, you make yourself successful. It's great. Number 4, you have to stay organized, and this business is very independent, and it does go hand in hand because nobody is on top of you to say, hey, there's a closing coming up in 3 days. You need to do your last walkthrough. Or, how are you going to make time to go on these showings? When are you going to prospect? Because even when you're busy, you always need to prospect, because what's going to happen is all these agents, they're so busy that they're not prospecting, and then all of a sudden all their clients are done and they crash. And that's when that real estate depression comes in from these agents, because now they have nothing, right? So, and then they get desperate. It's just like that desperate girl at the club that's too drunk and it gets ugly. So always prospect, whether you're door knocking, cold calling, advertising, calling people, sending out mailers, whatever you are doing, always prospect. Then also keep yourself motivated. So even finding a mentor or some kind of colleagues or a team or somebody to kind of, you get yourself back up. Like, oh, I lost another offer. Be like, it's okay. Come on, like, we got this, right? So you need each other. You really do need somebody. You can't, it gets so lonely. Make sure you stay organized. I use Google Calendars. I have everything in there. Every little thing I do, whether I have to go get groceries or whatever, I set time aside. So even when it's family events, I try to set it aside, but I always let them know I'll be there if I can be there, which actually affects all of your relationship. That's why I said earlier, it's a lifestyle. Number 5 is knowledge. Knowledge is key. So cliche, so true. I see these people on the Humber Real Estate group on Facebook just kind of saying, oh yeah, like, you know, I have all the answers for it, just do this and that and you'll pass, who cares? No. I'm gonna disagree with all of you guys right from the start because I was kind of like that in school. I was like, all right, I just want the marks and I want to get out of here so I can start my career. False. Do not do this. Learn your stuff. If you're in Humber, course 2 and course 3, I use it every single day. Every day, and I'm not exaggerating. In course 2, you learn how a house is being built from the ground up. You better know your stuff. Because if somebody's asking you, well, why are there cracks going like this and the house is 100 years old? Well, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be because either there was inadequate footings or the soil was settling a certain way, and houses generally end up going like this and it will make cracks in the house. And you need to be able to explain this properly to somebody who did not go through school. You can't just assume that. So you need to be able to explain that on an elementary level. And also, you want to have an agent who cares. This is their highest, biggest investment they're ever going to make. You want to have somebody who is knowledgeable, who cares, right? Because I always tell my clients, I will not let you buy it unless I would buy it myself. Or, you know, I will talk you out of more than I'll talk you into, because you want them to trust you. You want them to understand that you have their best interests at all times. Last but not least, number 6, real estate is incredibly rewarding, but also incredibly disappointing at the exact same time. And it's crazy because when you win an offer, I have never felt this before in my life. It's like an addiction. It's crazy. So you have this buyer and you've been going out to everywhere looking at places, and there's 20 offers on a property and you're losing every time, and finally you win. You're on the phone, you're telling your buyer, you're like, I always screw with them. I'm like, okay, so the agent just called, like, you know, like, I give them a little bit of the round, you know, so, and then I tell them that we won and I'm crying, they're jumping, they're thanking me, and you're just like, I love my job. It's so great. And on the contrary, you've submitted your 10th offer for the same buyer and they're not motivated anymore, and you're trying to pick them back up because you, even though I get so disappointed, I'm so choked, and I need to literally act like I'm not. I'm like, it's okay, guys, you know, the next time we get it. Meanwhile, I'm turning around to my colleague. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm swearing. I'm like, this sucks. I can't believe this happened again. Like, I tried to get them to pull up. We would have won because of $5,000. Like, how? Oh my gosh, I've been on the phone with their lawyer and their mortgage broker. It would have worked. Like, why didn't they listen to me? I know what I'm doing. And you get so angry and frustrated. But it all makes up when you win. So that was the end of our video, and what I'm going to now leave you with at the end is what I strongly believe in, is if you surround yourself with 5 successful people, you'll become the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 unsuccessful people, you'll become the 6th. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I am looking forward to uploading more videos. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Thanks. Bye.